Am I the jerk for kicking my brother-in-law out of my house after he exceeded the time I said he could stay by several months? Here is the revised text. My late wife's brother, a 57-year-old man who I, a 47-year-old man, always got along well with, was dealing with a marriage breakup. He was still cohabitating in the home he shared with his ex, a stepchild, and one of his children. Things were getting difficult for him. It was in the middle of nowhere, he had no money, and had to borrow money from her for gas anytime he needed to go into town. The final straw was that she was shacking up with different men every few weeks, including a few cousins. I agreed to let him stay with me in my house for a few months to get back on his feet, as long as he paid some money towards electrical, water, and internet bills. He also had to do some of the repair work that needed to be done around the house, since I was always short of time, and his profession is as a handyman, carpenter, and roofer. The only rules I had were no smoking in the house, no drugs, and no random women, as I had a child still living at home. After 8 months, my bills skyrocketed. Before he moved in, my hydro bills were $150 $200 per month. After he moved in, $425 $450 was average. Of the things we agreed he would work on, stairs, front door, deck, drywall repairs, insulating an outbuilding, fixing a leaking outdoor hose bib, and some landscaping, he had only completed the front door. At the time, I was living at home for 1 week and living with my girlfriend for the next week. Living with him was unbearable, and I could not stand sharing a home with him. In that time, he started smoking in the spare room and leaving drinks all over. He also started building a shed in my backyard without permission. We gave him a letter giving him 60 days to leave. He started bad-mouthing me and my girlfriend to everyone he could, including family, friends, and neighbors. He called us scum, assholes, and every other derogatory term he could think of. Once he was finally out, it took weeks to clean up the mess he left. He played around with some of the electrical systems in the house. It smelled like he dumped a ton of beer in the hot tub. He urinated all over the bathroom, even on top of the toilet tank. There were broken beer bottles in several places in the backyard. He left broken tools, piles of wood from removing his shed, and dead grass where he killed it. None of the work he said he would do was done at all. Apparently, he used all the propane in the tanks I had for the BBQ and thought he could use scrap wood and burn it in the BBQ to cook with. I am sure I will still find other things. Most of the extended family think I was being too harsh and should have let him live here indefinitely. I suggested maybe they should let him stay with them, but unsurprisingly, no one agreed. Not one of his many siblings would take him in, nor would any of his 5 adult children. Now, my brother-in-law, several of his siblings, his minor daughter, his ex, one of my neighbors who he drank with, and a lot of extended family are saying I'm the asshole for giving him the boot. You did nothing wrong here. It's not your job to house other adults, period. If there were conditions to your help and he didn't meet them, you have every right to boot him. He sounds like an advantage taker anyway. Since so many people want to support your brother-in-law, they can offer to have him in their house. Am I the jerk for refusing to go on a family vacation with my brother-in-law's ex? Hi everyone, I am a 29-year-old female and I just had a baby. This may be my postpartum depression and insecurity as well. My husband's family has never initiated a close relationship with me. I am very shy and have a hard time getting close to people even though I really want to. When we got married, they complained about why we were marrying young since in the Philippines, some parents want a lot of financial support. We married at 23 and 24, so I could sponsor him to Canada. We were together for 7 years at that point, and we paid for everything. His mother thinks he is only supporting my family, but we all work here. He has defended me, but I still think they dislike me because of this. My brother-in-law had a girlfriend for about 2 years. They loved her. She has issues at home, so she would stay with them for months. I went home to the Philippines and I really got along with her. Even if I was not as close to them as she was, I did not blame her because it is a problem with them. They recently broke up last year because he started seeing someone else. I hated him for that and felt for her. He was together with his new girlfriend before his ex, and they found their way back to each other again. Earlier this year, he had an accident and has a traumatic brain injury. He is still recovering. His new girlfriend visited him in the hospital and they unfairly attacked her. His sister messaged her to respect the family and stay away. They only knew the ex to be the girlfriend, while she traveled 4 hours to see him. I am not condoning third parties, but I strongly believe they did not have the right to dismiss her that way. I had flashbacks of their coldness towards me. While they never directly attacked me like that, I felt what she felt, if that makes sense. The ex has not gotten back with him, but she still goes on vacations to the Philippines with the whole family. She still visits him while he is recovering. She is still going to fly home to him for his birthday. We are going to the Philippines soon, and we are planning a beach holiday. Out of nowhere, the sister invites the ex. I had an overreaction and lost it because we are paying for the trip, including the 5-star hotel and high-end restaurants for his family, except the flights. They are no longer together. My family is going, and I did not even approve of my aunt going because I thought it was immediate family only. We did not invite her. Maybe a little part of me is jealous they never thought of me like that. My husband told them we are paying, and it is best if we do not bring anyone else. His sister defends that she is family. Her last message seemed to hint they are just going to pay for a hotel of their own for the three of them, her, husband and ex. So I do not know. I really do not want to go with her. She is a lovely person, but she is a representation of my almost non-existent relationship with them. I may cry at some of your comments, but I appreciate any advice. Nothing you have done here makes me think you are the jerk. You paid for the trip and have every right to set boundaries. People will take advantage of you if given the chance, so it's important to stand firm. Tell your husband to simply say no to his sister, and if they ask why, remind them that no is a complete sentence. There's no need to fund her ex's vacation. Am I the jerk for not prioritizing friends and family while living as an expat? As an expatriate living away from home, my holiday allowance every year is centered around seeing friends and family. I've been happy to try my best to see as many friends and family members each time I have some time off and travel home, but it is starting to get out of hand. Initially, people were very understanding if I was visiting but couldn't fit them in, but these days these visits home have become something I dread planning. Certain friends and family members are so outraged and insulted if I am unable to find time to see them. Funnily enough, these people will be the ones who do not want to take any time off work themselves and won't ever visit me in my current country. My time off work becomes somewhat of a big guilt trip, and I end up feeling exhausted coming back to work after a week of traveling to all different areas to see people. However, no one is grateful for this. It has simply become the expectation of me now. Historically, I've never pleased myself. I may want to spend my annual leave doing other things like spending time in other countries as a tourist or having more of a relaxed time when visiting home. I may want a few days to myself, resting and enjoying the countryside and my hobbies. God forbid I have a holiday where it's just me and my husband. But now I'm starting to think, if I always upset someone no matter how hard I try, perhaps I should suit myself from now on and make it their problem if they can't fit me into their schedule when I visit, rather than the responsibility always being on me. I would definitely lose some long-term friendships if I didn't go out of my way to see them every time I'm at home. For example, a friend who never bothered to get back to me to confirm plans over a month ago has sent me a message describing how upset and disappointed she is with me due to me now, trip planned for next week, having no time to see her. Had she responded to me initially, I would have factored her into my plans, but no one views it that way, which makes me feel resentful. When I try to flip it around, perhaps I am an asshole since I am the one who has moved away, and it should be my responsibility to maintain friendships and relationships with family members. At the end of the day, they just want to see me, which is not the worst problem to have, but it is draining and stressful trying to make it work. Nothing you have done here makes me think you are the jerk. It's time for a major change. Take your vacation time to explore places you want to see and do things you want to do. Friendships can last for decades without constantly seeing each other, and those who truly care will understand. Just live your life. The important people will be rooting for you, especially with today's technology keeping everyone in touch. Am I the jerk for asking for a weekend away with friends, leaving my partner to look after our 4-month-old baby? My wife and I recently had our first baby. In general, it has been going great. However, we had our first disagreement earlier today. I had concert tickets with 3 friends to see my all-time favorite band in September 2023, in a different city approximately 5 hours away. However, the concert got postponed, and it turns out the rescheduled date is a Friday night in August 2024, when our baby will be approximately 4 months old. By coincidence, my favorite football team happens to be playing a really crucial match in the same city on the same weekend. The timing of the match hasn't been confirmed yet, but it will either be Saturday lunchtime or Sunday lunchtime. I imagine traveling to the city with my friends on Friday afternoon, going to the concert Friday night, staying in town for the game, either on Saturday or Sunday afternoon, and then traveling back home afterward. So depending on what day the game was scheduled for, I would be getting home around 10 p.m. on either Saturday or Sunday. I mentioned this provisional plan to my wife today, as I wanted to start making travel and hotel bookings, but she was not happy with it. She said it would be too much for her to be left alone looking after the baby for that length of time. I understand her point, and of course, I love our baby more than anything. But in my opinion, it is not healthy for our social lives to completely shut down. I still need the occasional night or weekend away with friends, otherwise I will end up stir-crazy. I am talking like once or twice a year, not any more frequently than that. My social life is very scaled back compared to before. I play sports maybe once a week now compared to 4 times a week previously, and see my friends socially, maybe once a month compared to maybe once a week before. The division of labor is currently that I am back working full-time, and my wife is on maternity leave for the rest of 2024. She is handling most of the childcare by herself, Monday to Friday. Then, on evenings and weekends, I am doing as much as I can. I also do all household chores. If the game is on Sunday, then I see her point that it may be too long to be away, around 2.5 days in total. However, if the game is on Saturday, I think it is really harsh to block me from going when I would only be gone for around 1.5 days. We have family living nearby who would be very happy to come and help out while I am away, so it is not as if my wife would be totally on her own. Even if she was, I am sure she could handle it as she is an amazingly competent mother. I would be more than happy to look after the baby solo for a number of days if my wife wanted a trip away with friends. Although I don't think she has the desire to, as she is very attached to our baby, and even before the baby, her social life was a lot quieter than mine. In short, am I the asshole for asking for a weekend away with friends to attend live music and sports, with my wife at home looking after our 4-month-old? It would be my only weekend away trip of the year. It's clear that a balance needs to be struck here. Go to the concert you already have tickets for, then come back the next morning and watch the game on TV. At 4 months, one overnight trip with friends should be manageable, but a long weekend might be too much. Remember, your family comes before football. Am I the jerk for leaving when my sibling came to visit? So my sister is 24 years old, and I am 21 years old. I am not currently working and am staying at my boyfriend's house. My car is not working, so my boyfriend and I are sharing his car. My sister lives about 2 hours away from me, and we both have one child. I have a daughter, and she has a son. My sister has always been very moody, gets rude and overwhelmed easily, and likes to boss me around. I always wait until the storm is over and take the cussing and name-calling. She is pregnant, and I tried to blame her hormones, but this has been an issue for our whole lives. She calls me, saying she is coming to my mom's house, which is a 40-minute drive from my boyfriend's house. She tells me to be there early in the morning. It is not possible for me since my boyfriend gets up before 5 to go to work. Unless I want to spend the night at my mom's with no way home, it is inconvenient to ask him to drive about 3 hours on his work days. So I come over to my mom's at 3 in the evening. My sister is sleeping, so I stay and wait for 2 hours before waking her because I wanted to relax with my boyfriend and daughter, not stay with my verbally abusive sister at my mom's with no escape. I wake her up and she is livid. "You're a liar. Don't look at my son, you bitch." Her son starts crying. I make my daughter go to another room because I think it is inappropriate to involve children or speak badly of people to children. She is always telling my nephew we are strangers and things to make him nervous. He is only 2 years old and is very happy with me when she is not around. He hugs me and all that. She starts crying, calling me a bitch and a piece of shit. My mom had to go to church and whispered, "I understand if you leave." So I left with her, not wanting to subject myself to this any longer. My sister then texts me and tells my whole family she should call Child Protective Services on me because her son hates me and my daughter loves her. She says I am a bad mom and treat my daughter terribly. So I block her and my family members who believed whatever lies she said and texted me about it. I am in medical school and love my daughter. She has her own room. My boyfriend spoils her and she is very loved. Am I the asshole for leaving, coming late, and blocking her? Your sister's behavior sounds completely unhinged and toxic. No one acts like that unprovoked, and it definitely seems like she needs serious help. Blocking her now is the best option for your own peace of mind. It's really sad for your nephew, though. Am I the jerk for finding it weird to ask overnight guests not to use the upstairs bathroom even if their bedroom is upstairs? For a bit of context, my fiancé and I have very different needs for privacy. I am a very open person, happy to share anything and rarely need my own space. He, on the other hand, is very private and does not like people using his things or going into his space. We have guests over frequently, and friends and family stay over at our place very often, with average stays around 2 weeks. Currently, we live in an apartment with 1 bathroom, so we have always been sharing the bathroom with guests. We are now moving to a house with 2 bathrooms, both full bathrooms with showers. One bathroom is on the ground floor with the living room, kitchen, and dining area. The other bathroom is on the first floor with the 2 bedrooms. Guests would be staying in the smaller upstairs bedroom. The bathroom upstairs is not an ensuite bathroom. It is in between the 2 bedrooms. My fiancé has always wanted us to have a private bathroom. He thinks it is unhygienic to share a bathroom with other people. Our preference would have been an ensuite bathroom, but it was hard to find one. Now he is saying we should just tell our guests that it is a rule in our house that they use only the downstairs bathroom. So they would have to always go down a flight of stairs to use the bathroom, even at night. I find this rude and unwelcoming. We often have our parents over, and they are getting older and often wake up to urinate at night. I find it rude and unsafe to expect them to go downstairs to use the bathroom. I think people should just use the closest bathroom to wherever they are in the house. Even though I find the setup he is proposing uncomfortable, I told him if it is really important to him, he should be the one to tell the guests. I find it awkward and do not want to be the person to do it. He says this is mean and we should be a team and make this decision as a united front. For example, he would prefer I ask my mother to do this or guests that I am closer to. I do not want to do that. I would actually just prefer we do not have this set up at all. But more importantly, if he wants it, I do not want to be the one to impose it. Am I being unreasonable? Totally understand the fiancé not wanting anyone using his bathroom. A happy compromise might be designating the downstairs bathroom for guests, but allowing them to use the upstairs one at night if needed. That way, it seems like something great is being done by giving them their own bathroom to use. They would probably be glad about that arrangement. Thanks for watching. When you subscribe, make sure to hit the bell to turn on notifications so you never miss a video. To finish listening to all the stories, check out the playlist in the description.